And welcome back to Martinsville, Virginia. Darrell Wallace Jr., Ryan Truex, Cole Whitt, Andrew Smith, Brett Moffitt stay on the racetrack, and they are your top 5. Coming out of turn number 4, green flag back in the air.
How about the guys that restart the race? Both start at the very back of the pack at the beginning of the race.
Darrell Wallace Jr. on the inside, Ryan Truex on the outside. Let's see if he can hold the position. He does. Cole Whitt, though, in the 84, trying to give Ryan Truex chase for that second spot.
He had some illusions of grandeur there. He thought he was going to get that inside line, but Ryan Truex got right back to the bottom. Ooh, Ryan Truex a little bit sideways off of 4.
A little wiggle. We see Brett Moffitt moving up into the 4th position.
3 wide.
3 wide at Martinsville. It doesn't normally work. Ty Dillon backs off. That was smart. Jody Lavender was on the inside. Andrew Ranger was right in the middle in that 35. This is a great battle for 8th now as we see Ty Dillon working to the inside of Andrew Ranger.
Yeah, Andrew Ranger left that door open. He knew Ty was coming. He gave him some room. That may have saved them both.
Andrew Ranger ducks to the inside trying to get back behind that 3, but we see Kevin Swindell in the 9 making the pass.
That is so frustrating when you're out there on the outside. You know you have to get to the inside, but nobody will let you in.
Right now, a great battle for the lead. Here comes Ryan Truex on the inside of Darrell Wallace Jr. The drag race down the front stretch, and Darrell Wallace Jr. wins it, but Ryan Truex trying to force that 0 in there.
The 7 car, Ryan Duff, around on the front stretch.
He comes to stop just out of turn number 4, and that's going to bring out our 6th caution of the day. So Ryan Duff not able to keep it running. He fires it back up. We'll try to find a slot to get turned back around and get everyone back in line. Darrell Wallace Jr. in front of Ryan Truex. And the field back in line. Darrell Wallace Jr., Ryan Truex making up the front row. Cole Whitt and Brett Moffitt making up row number 2. Coming out of turn number 4. Back into the gas we go. Green flag in the air. Darrell Wallace Jr. with a great restart.
How about Brett Moffitt now jumping to the inside? He's hoping Darrell Wallace Jr. is going to open up that hole for him.
Slides as he comes out of turn number 2. Down the back stretch they go. A drag race. Ryan Truex has the nose in front of Darrell Wallace Jr. Let's see if he can hold the position.
He stays even with him through 3 and 4.
Making it tight as he crosses the stripe. He has actually scored your leader and will take the lead away from Darrell Wallace Jr.
And able to get to the bottom of the racetrack in front of Darrell Wallace.
We don't see that very often. You pass on the outside at Martinsville, but Ryan Truex just did it. Got in front of the 6 of Darrell Wallace Jr.
Ooh, little nudge here. Oh, and another nudge from behind. Brett Moffitt gets in the back of Darrell Wallace Jr.
Brett Moffitt now has the nose on the inside of that 6. Is he going to force the issue? Darrell Wallace Jr. stays high. Here comes Brett Moffitt trying to take 2nd away.
Great side-by-side battle for 2nd. Jody Lavender, the 88, right behind this group.
And the 7th caution of the day comes out on lap 132. This time it is debris, NASCAR is saying, on the racetrack that brought out this caution. So the 7th time we've been slowed for a caution flag, and Darrell Wallace Jr. is going to move back in front of Brett Moffitt as he was scored just in front of him when the caution flag came out. So Ryan Truex takes over the top spot. There's the debris on the racetrack. Darrell Wallace Jr. is 2nd, Brett Moffitt 3rd, Jody Lavender, Cole Whitt making up our top 5. Ryan Truex on the inside. Darrell Wallace Jr. on the outside. Brett Moffitt, Jody Lavender making up row number 2 as they come out of 4. We'll see who has the advantage. Green flag back in the air.
Great start. Darrell Wallace Jr. pulled ahead a little bit going to turn 1, but Ryan Truex on the inside will be too tough.
Here comes Brett Moffitt looking to the inside of Darrell Wallace Jr. for 2nd.
They make a little bit of contact over in turn number 2. Darrell Wallace barely gets back to the bottom, but now he slides up a little bit.
Here comes Moffitt hugging the inside of this racetrack. The drag race down into turn number 1. It looks as though Darrell Wallace Jr. has the advantage. Jody Lavender on the outside, now Cole Whitt on the inside.
Cole Whitt looks like he's trying to get that 4th spot. He's got the preferred line on the inside.
You saw Ryan Truex take the position away from Darrell Wallace Jr. earlier on the outside. Let's see if he can make it stick coming out of turn number 4. It looks like Cole Whitt's going to have the preferred line. And here comes Kobaluk just behind him.
We saw Kobaluk fading earlier. He made his way to pit road, make some adjustments. Car better now.
Cole Whitt trying to stay out in front of that 88 of Jody Lavender. Here comes the 40 of Matt Kobaluk once again right on the back bumper of Cole Whitt. Lavender way up high, slides coming out of turn number 4. Kobaluk is going to get by Jody Lavender.
Looked like he got those right side tires out in the loose stuff. Lost a little bit of ground. Kevin Swindell now is going to drive by Jody Lavender. Ty Dillon next on the list.
Jody looks like he's got his hands full right now. He ducks in behind Kevin Swindell in that number 9. Ty Dillon just behind him in the 3.
Ryan Truex opens up 2-3 car length lead right now over Darrell Wallace Jr. Brett Moffitt running 3rd.
Single file line once again. You see a little bit of damage to the right front of that 00. Now Darrell Wallace and Brett Moffitt are going to be battling it out for 2nd, it looks like. Moffitt looks very strong today as he's coming up on the back bumper of Darrell Wallace Jr.
Ryan Truex already made his pit stop for right side tires and fuel. He should be able to go the distance.
Kevin Swindell behind Matt Kovaluk.
Jumps to the inside.
Swindell. Oh, contact. Kovaluk. Is he going to keep it straight? He does. Kovaluk keeps going the right direction. Jody Lavender trying to take advantage of the bobble.
It was a great save by Matt Kovaluk. You just knew when the 9 of Kevin Swindell dive bombed that there was going to be contact there.
And Kovaluk saves it, holds on to just only losing 1 position to Jody Lavender. Now Ty Dillon on the back bumper. I'm guessing though Matt Kovaluk wants to get right back up and find out what's going on with Kevin Swindell.
Well, that's what's frustrating because now he's behind the 88 of Jody Lavender, so he's got a car in between him and the 9 car. I'm sure if he could get to the 9 car's bumper, it will let him know that he didn't appreciate that.
Ty Dillon looks to the inside of the 40. The 40 swing a little bit wider entry into turn number 3.
A nice arc getting in the corner. That lets that car roll through the center of the corner very freely.
So Kovaluk, you see the damage on the left rear of that thanks to the 9 of Kevin Swindell. There's the difference between 1 and 2. Brett Moffitt running 3rd. Here comes the battle for 4th.
Kevin Swindell did the exact same thing to Cole Witt.
It looks like Swindell's going to use the front end of this race car to make a few passes. Kevin Swindell taking the position away from Cole Witt, and I do mean taking it away from Cole Witt.
Now Jody Lavender is going to pull up on the rear bumper of Cole Witt in that Red Bull car.
Lavender also going to use the chrome horn. He gets into the back of Cole Witt, slides the 84 up the racetrack, and here comes that 88 of Jody Lavender.
You remember about 100 laps ago when we said it was a little bit too early to use that front bumper? Well, it's not too early now, obviously.
I think everyone has just gotten the green light from their crew chief to go ahead and get up front any way you can. Now let's see if Kovaluk is going to use the front end of that race car to move the 88 by.
I really like the way that 40 car of Matt Kovaluk's car will roll through the center of the corner. He really gains on everybody through the center. Ty Dillon is able to get by Cole Witt as well.
Cole Witt dropping back now. Was running in the top 5. Has relinquished those spots. You see Jake Crum in the 0-1 making his way back up front. Ryan Truex getting by the slower lap traffic. Oh, problems on the racetrack. The 38 slow up in the corner. That's Alan Tardif. Doesn't look like he's going to keep going. And that brings out our 8th caution. So with just over 50 laps remaining in this race, Alan Tardif stops on the racetrack, and that brings out our next caution.
I think it's too late for most of these guys to come down pit road. If you're running up front now, I think you have to stay on the racetrack.
Track position is pivotal if you want to find victory lane at Martinsville. We'll be back with more racing here on Speed.